My life is a miracle. Every child has a story of God's love to share. Shalom World, tune into God's love story.
Hi kids, would you like to play a game? Koco is going to tell us some shapes and we're going to make them with our bodies. And if you have any brothers or sisters or friends with you, you can make the shapes with them. Got it, Koco?
Got it!
Let's start then.
Flower! House! A moon! Alright, a crab!
Quack, 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 quack.
Ah! What was that for?
It wasn't me, it was the crab.
Ah!
Come and play with Katie and Koco. That's the way.
Get ready, let's go!
Flying through the air with Koco.
Telling stories with Katie.
You and I together, meeting my friends. Friends that help us every day.
Katie and Koco.
That help us every day.
Katie and Koco. Play and sing.
Pray and bring you and I, we do our thing. It's Katie and Koco.
Let's make some butter.
What?
Let's help Betty make some butter with our tongue twister.
Okay!
Ready? Repeat after me. Betty bought butter,
Betty bought butter.
but the butter was bitter.
But the butter was bitter.
So Betty bought better butter
So Betty bought better butter.
to make the bitter butter better.
To make the better butter better.
Nice! All together now. Ready? Betty bought butter, but the
the
butter
butter
was
was
bitter. So Betty
better.
bought better butter to make the better butter bitter. Good, you hanged on in the end there, Koco. Okay, shall we tell a story now?
Yeah, let's tell a story.
Then let's go! Oh, I'm so hungry, Koco. I just remembered I forgot to eat breakfast.
Me too, Katie. I'm starving.
What? But you had breakfast and you even had a second breakfast.
I'm a growing bird, Katie. I'm always starving. Rah.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm always starving too.
No, you're not. Whenever you finish eating, you say you're so full. Rah.
Yeah, but I don't mean I'm always starving for normal food. I mean I'm always starving for the food that gives me never-ending life.
You're just making that up. There's no food that can give you never-ending life. If there was, people would be going to search for it all over the place and fighting each other to get it.
Maybe they would if everyone really knew about it, Koco. But there's no need to search for it or even fight for it. It's given out freely every day in every Catholic church around the world for everyone who believes.
Wait, you're not making it up?
Not at all, Koco. In fact, some of the kids might even know what I'm talking about already. And maybe some of you have even eaten this superfood as well.
Really? Well, what is it?
You've eaten bread before, right?
Ah, bread is yucky. Sometimes people try to feed me bread, but it makes me sick. Ah.
Yes, bread makes birds sick. But people eat it all the time, don't we?
So is this superfood a special type of bread then?
The most special type of bread in the world. Because the bread I'm talking about only starts out as bread. By the time we eat it at Mass, the priest has already turned it into the body of Jesus. And with some wine, he does the same thing, only that gets turned into Jesus' blood. Of course, it still looks and tastes like bread and wine, but we know that it is really Jesus' body and blood, because it was Jesus himself who told us and gave us his body and blood to eat and drink when he died on the cross and rose to life again.
Wow! So when you eat that special food, which is really Jesus, does that mean he lives inside of you?
He certainly does, Koco. That's why it's so special, and that's why I'm always starving for him, because I want him to come again and give me new strength and energy. Because you know how when we eat normal food, it gives our bodies energy? Well, when we eat the food that is Jesus, he gives energy to our souls, so we can love him and others more. But lots of people don't know they can have Jesus living inside of them like that. And some people only find out until later in their life. One of my friends is one of these people. Her name is Elizabeth Ann Seton, and she lived in America a little over 200 years ago.
How come she didn't know about the special food like you until later on?
Because even though she was taught to love Jesus when she was growing up, her family weren't Catholics, and only Catholics believe that Jesus gave us himself to eat at Mass.
Oh, so how did she find out?
She didn't find out until after she had grown up and married and became a mother. When she was 20, Elizabeth married a handsome, wealthy man who she loved very much. But the happiness she shared with him after their marriage sadly didn't last for long. After a few years, her husband's business began to go badly, and not long after, he lost all his money and then became very sick.
Oh no! Was Elizabeth very sad?
Yes, she was. And she wanted to do all she could to make her husband get better. So they decided to take their family across the ocean to Italy, where Elizabeth's husband had business friends and where his health would hopefully improve. Can you kids imagine that? What if your dad lost his job and money and then got sick, and then you had to go on a really long journey in a boat to a faraway country? You would have to say goodbye to your friends, and you wouldn't know when you would be coming home. Would you do it though if it meant your dad was going to get better?
So did the dad get better?
Well, that's a sad thing, Koco. The journey on the boat made him even sicker, and he soon died after they had arrived in Italy.
How terrible! So Elizabeth and her family went all the way to Italy for nothing then?
That's what it seemed like at first. But Elizabeth understood something very special about God.
What?
She understood that God often has different plans for us than the ones we expect. And even when it seems like everything has gone wrong, He has something even better waiting for us, as long as we follow His call. Does that ever happen to you, kids? When something goes wrong or you're having a really bad day, but then there's one really good thing happens that wouldn't have happened otherwise? Maybe you were eating an ice cream and accidentally fell on the ground, but then you got another one to replace it, so you nearly had 2 ice creams. Or maybe you fell and hurt yourself, but then that meant you got something special after. Or you didn't have to do something you didn't want to do because you were hurt.
Something like that happened to me. One time, I got lost and couldn't find the trees that we always go to because they have good spots to make nests. But then, instead, I accidentally found even better trees that were next to the mountains. So I got a really good view as well.
That's awesome, Koco.
But what happened to Elizabeth? How could something good come after she lost her husband and she was in a foreign country?
Well, Koco, she might have lost her husband, but it was in that foreign country that she came to know someone else a lot better than she did before.
So, did she get married to someone else?
Not quite. She came to know Jesus not just as God far away in heaven, or even just as a loving friend. She came to believe that Jesus could live inside of her. And how do you think that could happen? Remember, we were talking about it before.
Oh, did she find out the special food that is Jesus, that she can eat at Mass?
That's exactly what she found out. It was in Italy that Elizabeth became Catholic. She wanted that special bread that would give her never-ending life. She wanted Jesus to live inside of her. And do you know what else she found out by becoming Catholic?
What?
Well, Elizabeth had lost her own mother when she was very young, but she soon found out that Mary, Jesus' mother, was truly her mother as well. Mary is the mother of everyone who accepts Jesus into their lives, which includes you and me. Elizabeth was very happy that she had found this new way to love Jesus and his mother. But when she returned to America with her family, her friends and family there weren't very pleased that she had become Catholic.
How come?
Because they thought the Catholic faith wasn't true. But Elizabeth knew now that it was true, and she didn't give up her new beliefs. Each time she received Holy Communion at Mass and welcomed Jesus hidden in the special bread and wine into her soul, she was given new strength and energy to hold on to her new Catholic faith and not let anyone take it away from her. In fact, instead of having it taken away from her, Elizabeth started to bring it to other people.
Who did she bring it to?
First of all were her own children, of course, but she eventually began the first free Catholic school in America with the help of 2 other women. She dedicated the rest of her life to teaching children at this school, and she soon became known as Mother Seton after she made special promises similar to the ones made by nuns. Her sisterhood soon began to grow, and soon there were 2 other schools and an orphanage as well. Even though she eventually became sick, she continued to guide the mission she began, a mission she never would have even thought of if her husband had never gotten sick and she had never traveled to Italy and become a Catholic. In other words, if she had never found out about the special food that is Jesus and continued to receive him into her soul, she would never have found the motivation and strength she needed to begin the first free Catholic school in America and bring both education and Jesus to thousands of children just like you.
Koco, amazing! So God really did have a special plan for her when so many things were going wrong.
He certainly did, Koco. Just like he has a special plan for each one of us. Shall we ask Elizabeth to help us trust in the plans God has for us?
Yes, yes!
Thank you, St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, for trusting in God's plan and letting him lead you closer to him in the bread of life that is Jesus. Help us let him guide our lives in the same way and to always look for strength in receiving Jesus at Mass. Please pray for all Catholic children that they may receive a good education like how you taught your children, and pray for all those who don't yet know that they can have Jesus living inside of them. How did you like that story?
A lot! She was a good mother and she was very brave for changing her life after she lost everything.
She certainly was. Gorbit.
What are you doing, Katie?
I'm pretending to be a frog. Gorbit.
Why?
Cool, well, I was pretending to be other things earlier, wasn't I?
But I didn't tell you to be a frog, and I thought we stopped playing that game.
Yeah, but our tongue twister is about a frog today.
How does it go?
Like this. 5 frantic frogs fled from 50 fierce fishes.
Oh, 50, that's funny but freaky.
Shall I teach it to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Repeat after me. 5 frantic frogs
5 frantic frogs
fled from 50 fierce fishes.
fled from 50 fierce fishes.
Nice! All together now, ready? 5 frantic frogs fled from 50 fierce fishes.
Nice. That was weird, but I like it anyway.
Good, I'm flattered. Shall we go and make some craft now?
Yeah.
It's craft time. Are you ready for craft, Koco?
Yeah, Katie, what are we making?
Today we're going to be making some bread. So it's a bit like we're doing some baking, but it's just made out of this paper plate and some paper.
Oh, so I get to eat it?
No, Koco. Remember bread makes you sick?
Oh.
But paper makes you sick too, so you can't eat either of them.
No.
But that's okay. This bread that we're going to be making is going to remind us not of the normal bread, but of the special bread that is Jesus. That's why we've got some special glitter to decorate it. And we're going to be making it out of this paper plate, this yellow piece of paper, and I've got a stapler, a texter, a pencil, some scissors, which we have to be
Careful.
yeah, because they're very sharp,
Yeah.
and some sticky glue. Okay, let's get started. We're going to trace around on the paper the shape of the plate because we're going to end up sticking the yellow paper onto the plate. Get your pencil and just do a light trace around a shape like that. There we go. There's a circle on the piece of paper. Now we're not going to cut it out yet because first we're going to decorate it with the glitter before we stick it onto the plate. So we're just going to put some glue on the circle. And I've just got the glitter, so it should stick nicely to this glue. So I've got silver and orange, but you can use whatever colors you like. And I'm just going to open that up very carefully so that the glitter doesn't go everywhere. And now let's use the orange one and do the same thing, just a light sprinkle. I reckon that's enough glitter. So that reminds us that it's nice, it's very special bread, not just ordinary bread. So now we're going to cut around where we traced the circle. Now we're going to stick it onto the plate. So I'll stick it on like this. There is our special bread. And if you like, you can leave it like that, like it's just a flat tortilla bread, or you can also fold it around like this and make it kind of a baguette or a loaf, like this. Ends are touching.
That looks yummy, Katie.
Yeah, does it? You can make it, but don't eat it, Coco, because remember, it's just a paper plate. But really, it reminds us of the special bread. And Elizabeth especially loved the special bread that's Jesus, because it gave her soul energy. Just like real food gave her body energy, this gave her spirit energy. And so we'll just secure that with a staple. Maybe you might need some help with that. There's your yummy piece of bread, piece of special bread. And if you like, you can make it even more like bread, putting those lines like that. There we go. Hi kids, if you'd like extra instructions on how to make this, you can find it at swpals.org. Also, I'd love to see you guys making your very own special breads. So you can upload a photo with your craft and upload it on the same website.
Ah, Katie! I wish that bread was real! I wish I could eat it! Looks so yummy! Especially with that glitter!
Oh no, Coco's getting really crazy about our craft bread. I know, let's start the tongue twister so he gets distracted. Come on, Coco, tongue twister, all right? Ready?
Ah!
5 frantic frogs fled from 50 fierce fishes. Again. 5 frantic frogs fled from 50 fierce fishes. Are you better now, Coco?
Much better! Thanks, kids! See you next time!
See you next time, kids. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, she never got beaten.
Come and play,
Play with Katie and Koco.
that's the way.
Get ready, let's go!
Flying through the air with Koco.
Telling stories with Katie.
You and I together, meeting my friends. Friends that help us every day.
Katie and Koco.
That help us every day.
Katie and Koco. Play and sing.
Pray and bring you and I, we do our thing, it's Katie